Welcome to the 23rd episode of the Decompression Chamber. I'm your host, Mario. You already know that though. The opening quote today is going to be from a Greek philosopher named Sophocles. All men make mistakes, but a good man yields when he knows his course is wrong, and repairs the evil. The only crime is pride. Roll the intro.
Into me, no doubt that I'll never be without my damn brain. Closed mouth, I'm clever and I know my damn shame. No cloud to the better, no one know my damn name. No bow, that's what I guess.
Yeah, so I think, the German philosophers had a certain, the Greek philosophers had a certain, idea of pride, and there was a lot of these Greek mythology heroes whose pride was their downfall, and I think it's a certain type of pride, it's the idea of well, I don't even have to explain it myself, but the idea that you inflate your ego so much and you think so much of yourself that you think you can't fail, and then that makes you more susceptible to failure than anything. But yeah, I just like the quote because it's about recognizing your mistakes and finding ways to improve. I think my life got a lot easier for myself just when I took note more of the fact that I'm just a flawed human being. I'm a failed image of humanity, and that just means that the process of getting better as a person is an extra asterisk to the meaning of life, or whatever. That wasn't a very good image, but still, you kind of get what I mean. But yeah, here I am. I'm filming this video 12:30 at night. Not a great idea because I should be sleeping, but my sleep schedule's gone a bit messy. I stayed up late yesterday and had a knock-on effect today. Basically I had this big deadline. I have it today technically, but building a website for school, it's not the biggest unit of the year, but it's still it's 70% of a unit, so I was like, oof. And earlier this week I had a presentation for that same unit, so it's been a bit on my mind recently. I did mention it in a couple of the last videos, but yeah, I can't lie, I always hate presentations in front of my class. I'm sure everybody does, but it's just even online there's too many people paying attention. It's the unit leader and the course leader both staring at me from my computer screen. But I was very happy with how my presentation went, especially because one of my points was about how professionally I want to be good at punctuality and timekeeping, and the presentation was supposed to be 5 minutes long, and I managed to pause it on 4:59.82 seconds and show it to the camera right when I was done. So I was like, this is proof of how punctual I am. And yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm someone, I make it a big deal to myself to be on time for stuff. I really hate being late for things. I hate being in a hurry. I always like to arrive when I'm meant to. And as much as I make fun of my dad for taking us to the airport 3 hours before we need to be there, it makes me feel so relaxed every time. Just there was one time I went on a flight by myself and I got there just as the gate information was coming out, and I was just this is already too stressful. I like to just slowly cruise through life. Minimal bumps in the road. But yeah, so the presentation went well. Earlier today I was feeling completely lazy, just lying in bed. I had to take a nap in the middle of the day, which I rarely ever do. And then I kind of did I did a core exercise, and then I had a shower, and I felt like a new man. I feel good that even though I was having a bit of a shit morning, I managed to turn it around. I banged out the rest of my website this evening, and here I am. I'm filming a video, so extra points for Young Maz. Young Maz is a reference to myself, but yeah, I kind of ran out of steam in terms of that train of thought. It's just sometimes it's good to have something to focus on, even though recently life hasn't been changing that much. School has at least given me something to do. In the first lockdown I was just playing Minecraft for 5-6 hours a day, and that was a good day. I played through Skyrim again, and God knows what other stuff I did. But yeah, now that I'm still in lockdown, I'm doing work, I'm trying to get stuff put together, and so it's just at least something to do. It's mental stimulation, even if I procrastinate it. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of lazing around this week, just like I normally do. My room's much less tidy than I'd like it to be, but that's life, Normally what I do is I have these lectures on Friday, and they're kind of an online video lecture. I just kind of get through it by tidying my room throughout the day, and then I just lie down and watch the film that they recommend us to watch. And yeah, next week's supposed to be half term, but given that all of this is going on, it doesn't really feel very half termy, It just kind of feels like, here we go, we're out here doing it. And I'm awaiting, I think it's this coming Monday, they're doing the review for how restrictions are going to change and stuff, so hopefully stuff works out well. But at this rate, it's hard to just pay attention to the stuff, really. Like, I try not to pay attention to current events nowadays, just because it makes me feel depressed. And like, it's just like, you're not going to hear anything good, The world's going down the toilet, the economy's getting fucked up. I think I meant to say the environment, but it's not untrue for the economy. The whole Brexit madness is going on, there's that stuff happening in India with the huge strike that pretty much isn't getting shown that much, but I'm speaking from a place of ignorance. I know that it's like one of the biggest protests in recent history, and yet I haven't done the effort of researching it, What I do know, though, is that there have been people trying to speak out, like making music and stuff on YouTube. And YouTube, if you go on their videos, it says something like, this has been shut down due to a complaint by the Indian government, which is a bit dark, I don't like the idea that this platform that we're on and other platforms is just like, they're no longer just a little kind of cute internet thing to put stuff up. It's become a tool for these huge institutions that just use their power to crush people. And I'm just a little drop in. If I'm a drop in this YouTube thing, then the rest of it is an ocean. Me speaking out on my own isn't really going to affect much. It has to be like a coalition, an organized group of people to actually make change. That's the thing, is people look back and think of certain people as historical, like, heroes, for making like progressive political movements, but at the time they weren't seen as heroes. That's what you have to remember, is that at the time every single major institution was trying to paint them out as bad. All the newspapers were given this and that about them, and nobody would give them a fair shake, and everything that stood to lose by those people just worked against them the whole time. So yeah, sometimes I think about that as it pertains to the present. I saw a thing as well on Twitter about about Twitter, how some Saudi prince had bought like $400 million worth of shares, and like later on I saw a post about how like Saudi Arabian women who use Twitter to try and document their escape and like seek help had their Twitter account shut down. So I'm sure that was some like stitching together of stuff that isn't exactly correct, but we live in a sinister world. It's not too much to believe that these huge tech monoliths I don't think it's like a conscious thing, like people on top are just like sitting around smoking cigars in their ivory towers and going, ha ha ha, look at these peasants suffer. But it's more just like all the systems we have are built to keep them up there. And I say us because relative to the scale of where I am, I'm not in the ruling class, but relative to the world, I'm very lucky. I'm high up in terms of socioeconomic status and material wealth and all of that. So yeah, it's just something to think about. I'm just one person in a world of 7 billion people. I don't know why I looked over my shoulder like there'd be someone else there, but if there was, that would be a good addition to the video. That's the weird thing, is I don't believe in ghosts per se, but I was speaking to a friend recently about how on a school history trip to Berlin, we visited Dachau, which was a concentration camp, and despite the fact that I claim that I don't believe in ghosts, I definitely remember being there and feeling this presence, like something bad had happened there, and obviously it was clouded by by the context of my historical knowledge, slim as it was. It felt like there was some presence there, and I don't know how to explain that. I haven't really had that many other experiences with the paranormal, but you know, I still think that paranormal hunting shows are hilarious, just because, I mean, it's just a bit of a laugh, innit? Plus, Ghostbusters is just a classic film. You can't say that you hate it, otherwise I hate you. No, I'm joking, it's not really even my era, but you gotta recognise the classics. But yeah, given that I've just made the 10-minute mark, and I'm kind of running on steam here, I'm just gonna say have a good whatever. Hope whatever works in progress you have still progress, and yeah, see you later.
Cap on for the shade. I don't wanna give myself no option, so I drop the visor just to wake up. Ain't no tripping over pay stubs, ain't no tripping on the vague stuff. All the things that I can make up, I might think of not a maker. Wait. No grayer I see, never think about the consequences if you